And I think he said something like his team would never do something like that. Absolute BS. I mean, Australians are the first ones to do something like that. Australians are the first ones to sledge people. And I'm sorry, you if you give it, you got to take it, like Virat Kohli said.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hit Cricket, your source for cricket analysis, commentary, and fun. Uh, I'm your host, Sean, and joined with me here is our local cricket fanatic, Rahul. Uh, so let's talk about the Adelaide test. So this is the days 1 and 2 review, and wow, what a first 2 days it's been. Sad for India fans, of course, like Rahul and I, but yeah, let's talk about it. And the man of the hour, the man of the past few days, Mitchell Starc, of course. First innings for India, he tore them apart. First ball of the test to Jaiswal, just swung it in there, hit him right in the leg. He was out first ball. It was actually insane. Starc started them off well, and things only got better for him. Picked up 6 wickets in the first innings for India. And India's batting in general, aside from Nitish Kumar Reddy, it was a real struggle for them. Rahul, what are your thoughts on the first innings there?
I mean, we said in the preview the pink ball will swing. Winning the toss and batting first is an advantage, but the pink ball will swing, and you need to get through the first few overs and get your eye in before you can actually score runs. Because Adelaide is a good wicket to bat on if you get your eye in, and we saw batters who applied themselves show that. But unfortunately, we lost too many wickets in the first session. I thought like Yashasvi Jaiswal first ball, it happens. But it's a ball he'd usually put away if he's a bit more set. But it just swung in late on him, so I think it just went past his eye line and then suddenly came in. So yeah, can't do much about that, I think. But then I thought the way KL Rahul and Shubman Gill played was really good. KL Rahul did get his fair share of lives, but the application he showed, and Shubman Gill was batting like a dream, uh, playing aggressively in those conditions where the ball was moving, taking the bowling on. And I think we were 60, 70 odd for one wicket. And I thought at that point, if Shubman and KL could stay in for a bit longer and just stay through the first session, take it to like 100, 120 for one, then that would set a great pace for the likes of Kohli, Rishabh Pant, Rohit to take the score to around 300, 350, maybe more. But unfortunately, we just lost 3 wickets back to back in that crucial phase right before lunch, and that two big wickets like KL, Kohli, and Shubman, and that really put us on the back foot, I feel. And then if you're going into lunch 87 for four with an out of form Rohit Sharma batting out there, and Rishabh Pant can only do so much, and the delivery Rishabh Pant got was a screamer. I mean, Pat Cummins just comes out of nowhere and just bowls a nasty bouncer to get him out. So, I mean, all in all, Australia just bowled really well. And as we mentioned in the first, like in the preview itself, Rohit Sharma is coming off not too much confidence. And I feel his dismissal is just similar to how he's been getting dismissed in the past, just that ball coming back in and striking him on the pad or cleaning him up, in both innings, in fact. But to be specific, in the first innings, just looked like he was lacking confidence. And yeah, I feel no one really was able to apply themselves, except for Nitish Kumar Reddy at the end, striking good 40. And some of the shots he were marvelous, lofted extra cover drive for six against Mitchell Starc. You got to have some audacity to do that. But yeah, other than NKR, no one really could apply themselves. So yeah, it was a poor effort from India, but I feel we left 100, 150 runs out there if we could apply ourselves a bit more against that new ball and in that first session.
Yeah, and speaking on Rohit Sharma and even Virat Kohli, there are questions that should be asked in terms of their test form. Over the past year, Rohit averaging only 27, Virat Kohli averaging only 26 despite the 100 in the previous test. So there's fair questions to ask about both of those legends for India, despite all their previous contributions, whether they're the best players for the side. But we've seen a lot of people questioning that. We'll talk a little bit about it, a little more about it when we talk about India's second innings. But now on to Australia's first innings. And man, the man of the hour is, of course, Travis Head. His century, he ended off with 140, getting out to Mohammad Siraj in the well-publicized incident. Uh, Travis Head said that he didn't mean any harm. He just said good ball, well
It's man
bowled.
harming, bruh.
Yeah, I mean the head has been harming. He's the big headache for India in every format, right? But overall, a very good batting display for Australia. Labuschagne getting in some form, he hit a 50, and in the general, just a really good job by Australia to get on the front foot after both teams batted. So, Rahul, what are your thoughts on Australia's innings?
You know, like when we mentioned in the preview, like the ball will do a lot more in the nighttime under lights. And I feel for Australia to get to 86 for one under the lights was a tremendous effort. I did feel our boys got a bit unlucky in the initial phase. You know, they're bowling really tight line and links, but just the edges weren't coming and just they got everything but the wicket basically. But I guess the Australian batters just hung in there to take them through to stumps. And then, you know, once they came out to day two, the pitch was really good to bat on, and the conditions were favorable with the older ball. And you know, Labuschagne cashed in. You know, we mentioned he's a quality player, and he can only be out of form for so long, and he showed why he's a class player. And I thought Nathan McSweeney also applied himself pretty decently, but then got a really good ball from Bumrah. You know, Steve Smith is one. I'm happy to see the back of him every time he gets out as an Indian fan, but I mean, I really feel for him, you know, getting strangled down leg like that. It's a very unlucky way to get out. And, you know, felt like it felt bad seeing such a legend get out in such uh, iffy ways all the time. So that's something. But then, yeah, Travis said, I mean, he keeps doing it to India. I saw a stat like against India, he has an average of around 60 over the past couple of years, but every other team has an average of 35 or 36. It's appalling numbers. Like he just sees India and then he performs automatically. You know, the World Test Championship final, the World Cup final, and now where India desperately needs a win to get into the WTC finals, he's hitting them. You know, it was a classy innings, no doubt about it. He was taking on Ashwin. He took on the fast bowlers. I feel our boys could have bowled more tighter lines and lengths as well. You know, Harshit Rana's just leaking runs. Siraj was tight for the most part, but then leaked runs towards the back end of his spell as well. Um, the thing with Travis Head is he was very vulnerable in the first 10, 15 ball of his innings. So I just feel like if they I think Bumrah should have bowled more overs at him when he initially came in. And that was the one issue. I don't know if Bumrah was tired or why they took him off very early, but I'm pretty sure if Bumrah bowled that extra 3, 4 overs, we could have definitely knocked Travis head off. And in that situation, if we had them around 180 for five or something and gave like a only a 40 run lead to them, we'd be very much in the game, especially considering we would have batted much earlier with a bit of daylight there, and we could have got a good start with Kale and Yashasvi maybe. But regardless, kudos to Travis Head, and the whole Australian batting effort was brilliant to secure a 160 run lead, which is absolute gold dust in conditions like this, where you got three pacers who are kings in their own rights.
Yeah, and fair play to Head. He showed his class, and you just gotta applaud that. But
Yeah,
you
but what Siraj
gotta,
did to him was fitting. I mean, like he'll say he just said well bowled and all that stuff, but I mean, what imagine what all Australia has done over the past years to other opposing teams who come just sledge the hell out of them. You know, Mitchell Johnson was sledging a 22-year-old Virat Kohli. Imagine Virat Kohli was just not a guy who was aggressive, but was a bit tender. How much he would have shown to him. So these guys are known for sledging, and these guys are known to intimidate the opposition, but they can't take it back to themselves. Absolutely disagree. If you give it, you got to take it. And I don't care if Travis Head is someone who doesn't sledge, but his team does it, so he has to know how to take it back. Just because you don't do something, you can't be responsible for your team. And I think he said something like his team would never do something like that. Absolute BS. I mean, Australians are the first ones to do something like that. Australians are the first ones to sledge people. And I'm sorry, you if you give it, you got to take it, like Virat Kohli said. You got to learn to take it if you want to give it. And you know, this is the beauty of Test cricket. This kind of just aggression, fiery. You know, that's what 50,000 people are coming in to watch. I mean, you don't want to see a flat game. I still
Mhm.
feel Test cricket is the most purest form of the game, and this kind of stuff is what keeps it alive and keeps the people watching it. So absolutely, I love what maybe Siraj might have not said the best stuff, but I love the aggression shown there, and I want the series to be played in this spirit with fire blowing on both sides.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. It makes it much more entertaining, and you can feel the tension. Honestly, it's palpable. So yeah, I'm all for the little fighting in there, to
Yeah, I
be
mean
honest.
they gotta learn to take it if they give it. Ones spreading the aggression. Like, yeah, you have to take it. Can't expect people to be nice to you when you're not the nicest to them. And I don't care if these guys are more like soft right now. We all know what Australians have done in the past to opposing teams. So I don't need to mention that. I think everyone else knows it for themselves. So they got to learn to take it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Absolutely on Siraj's side there.
I mean, yeah, you got to be as an Indian fan. But let's talk about India's batting performance in the second innings. A bit more aggression. All the bowlers were more expensive in this innings, but the wickets kept falling, you know? So I think Boland and Cummins both picked up two each. And overall, it was a another good bowling display by Australia. Uh, Shubman Gill got bowled by an absolute peach from Mitchell Starc. I mean, that delivery was unplayable, and I'm sure you guys have seen it countless times already. But yeah, it's the same old story for India as the first innings. Just can't keep their top order batsmen in, and they continue to struggle in this test. But Rahul, what are your thoughts on India's second innings?
Yeah, as I mentioned in the preview, like under lights the ball will swing and it'll be tougher to bat in. But I didn't know all the points I mentioned would apply to our guys out there, and they'll be the only ones facing this issue because apparently Australia did well in all the departments. But apart from that, I think the batting was it was. I don't think the Indian batters made a whole lot of mistakes. I'll be honest in that second innings. I thought KL Rahul's dismissal off a short ball, he might have not expected it because he was just like prepared to leave everything that was coming at him. Fuller delivery suddenly got a short one, so he was not expecting it. But I expect him to play that a bit better. But the ball Jaiswal got was an absolute peach. I mean, Scott Bowen's first delivery, over the wicket, just angling it across him. There's not much he could have done there because it's not something he could have left either. He had to play at it. So I think that was a peach of a delivery. Won't blame Jaiswal. Virat's dismissal, it's the same old story. It's the fourth stump line. I mean, every time I watch him like play at those balls, I just like basically scold him from the screen like, why are you doing this, why are you doing this? Because I think everyone knows I'm the biggest Virat Kohli fan. I called him to be the man of the match this game and score like a century. Adelaide's his favorite ground, but I'll eat my words back. I
Everybody
was a bit
roast
too over
Rahul. Everybody
I
roast
was a
him.
bit too overconfident, but it's the same old story, the fourth stump line, and it was the same today. I thought today's ball was a good one though. Like it was angling in, and it would have been a really tough one to leave. So I won't be too critical of today's, but I mean, it's countless times he just goes after those deliveries which he should be leaving, and I don't know if I don't know if it's a technical flaw, but he's a goat. He knows better than me. He knows better than a lot of other people. So I still believe he'll find a way to come back stronger. He's the best batter in the world still, and I definitely think he'll find a way to fix this and come back stronger in the next Test match. But yeah, as far as Shubman Gill, like you mentioned, that was an absolute peach. Nothing he could have done there, and he was actually batting really good, and I had hope for him until he got that delivery. And yeah, Shubman Gill both innings he was batting like a dream, but unfortunately just got deliveries that he couldn't do much about. And then Rohit Sharma again, just that same ball, like coming back in, targeting his pads and the stumps. If Kohli has a weakness outside the stumps, Rohit has a weakness on the stumps. So it's pretty sad seeing these two legends play like this. But yeah, as far as the batting effort's concerned, it's a bit disappointing. But I don't know if there could have been much done. Australia just bowled magnificently well. But yeah, let's see what tomorrow has in
Mhm.
store.
Yeah, and I think we should also shout out how incredible Rishabh Pant, some of the shots he played. I mean,
Oh yeah,
doing the reverse on Scott Boland, I mean, that was just falling over, and that's a signature Rishabh Pant shot. He had
he's
another one where he
crazy.
fell over. I mean, he's so fun to watch, and he's the one bright spot, I think, other than Nitish Kumar Reddy and of course Bumrah, who we didn't mention before, but he bowling like very well in the first innings for Australia. And yeah, I think India can take away a lot of positive with both Rishabh Pant and Nitish Kumar Reddy. Uh, Even in this innings, hopefully, both of them can start well on day three. Rahul, what are your thoughts on both of them?
Yeah, as before that, I'll just quickly touch upon the Bumrah. Like Bumrah, obviously, don't need to mention too much. He just does his day in and day out, picking up wickets. Picked all the first three, and then showed his class as well. But the issue is he's the only bowler they're looking at as a strike bowler.
Yeah,
And
somebody's got to help him.
while Siraj did take 4 wickets, it was more after the damage was done. And Harshit Rana has been leaking runs like the river. I mean, it's just been going. And then Ashwin, I'm actually pretty happy with bowling at an economy of two. As I mentioned in the preview, he should have started over Sundar, and he's justified his spot. Hit a handy 20 odd in the first innings. Bowled very well in Australia's innings as well. Probably has a crucial role to play tomorrow. But you asked about Nitish and Rishabh. Yeah, I mean Rishabh is just crazy. I don't know what else to say. Like playing those kind of shots with 30 minutes, 45 minutes to go in the day is outrageous. And his first ball that he played, Scott Boland was just bowling on a dot. Just Virat Kohli was just dismissed. He comes out and just steps down and smacks him over the top for 4 runs. I mean, he's just audacious and he doesn't have fear. And I think one thing that also contributes to that is the accident that play went in his life. He just doesn't know what fear is or risk is anymore because he's just survived from like death basically. So like
Hmm.
what pressure is this, or what does he have to be scared of now? So I think that fearless attitude is what's scary. And a lot of people may have given up on India still, but I still have a lot of hope going into tomorrow that Rishabh Pant can do something magical. I mentioned in the preview, other than Kohli, Rishabh Pant is one to watch out for, and I really think he's gonna have a big say in the game. And I feel like if NKR and Ravi Ashwin can accompany him and the tail can just put on some partnerships as well, we can get to maybe 180, 190. Like I'm stretching it, I know, but as a fan, I hope we can do this. Then who knows? Jasprit Bumrah under the lights. You never know. Some magic could happen.
You know, all Indian fans are praying for that, but it's kind of looking bleak right now. They're still trailing by 30 odd runs, and they're down 5 wickets. So they still got a little batting left in there with the Pant, NKR, and Ashwin, as you said. But with the aggression that both these guys play with, it'll be tough seeing them play a long innings. But we'll see. They could play with some patience and stick in there. I'm hoping. We're all hoping. So, yeah. What do you guys? Or speaking of that, what are your other things that you're looking for on day three? Things to watch, perhaps.
Day three, I mean, if I talk from a realistic point of view, I don't think India's gonna bat past the first session. Uh, like I don't think they're gonna set a lead of more than 50 or 60 maximum. From a realistic point of view, if I take out my heart and my emotions, but there's no doubting the quality of Rishabh Pant, and Nitish Kumar Reddy has shown every time when the chips are down, he's shown that he can score runs with the tail as well. So I feel like if these two can bat through the first hour and just see off the Pacers, then there's a good chance we can get a decent lead going. And I feel Ashwin is more than a capable batter. He's shown it in the past in Australian conditions as well. And Harshit Rana can also hold a bat and accompany one end. And we've got Sir Vivian Siraj as well, who can maybe block out a few deliveries. But yeah, jokes apart, I think ideally it's probably going to be Australia to win it by the second session ending. Like, in all realistic terms. But I do believe in Rishabh Pant and Nitish Kumar Reddy and for enforcing a turnaround here and potentially giving the likes of Bumrah and Siraj a chance with the ball later on in the day.
Hmm. And one thing to watch is how India comes out bowling because we need a fast start. They need to pick up wickets quickly to have a chance in this test. So we'll definitely see there. But I think that covers everything. We'll see if we can get to a day three review. But that's it. Raul, any last thoughts or anything?
No, I'm just gonna say like keep hoping, keep praying. There's still hope, there's still belief in this game. It's not over yet. Uh, because we've seen crazy comebacks like VVS Lakshman and Rahul Dravid against Australia and Kolkata out of nowhere situation from a follow-on situation win it out of nowhere. I'm not saying there's something like that's gonna happen, but we don't need that extent. We can have a similar performance from these two future stars and like people players who are presently like batting like a dream for India. They could put up a 100-run stand and get us somewhere. So keep that hope. Hopefully, when we come back tomorrow, we have something better in store. But not, as Sean said, looking bleak right now, but let's pray for a miracle.
Yeah, wouldn't that be one to remember? But crazier things have happened. We'll see. That should be everything. But so see you guys next time and take care. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, by the way.
Yes, please, surprise.
Surprise. Okay, bye.